Alright, in this video I wanted to talk about the update to Dazzle. It was always very sort of quirky. It, it's basically like the bleed um, compared to burn and poison, but it's basically blind. So once you inflict it, it stays until there's a monster save. So I was always weird, like if you had um, dazzle there, you couldn't blind, or if you had blind there, you couldn't dazzle, and it would change things. It was always real buggy. So um, they've been working on blind ever since the release of the Light Realm Champion because um, it was updated and they had a permanent blind there, and they had to. So like these permanent statuses, they've changed them one by one, a little bit at a time, um, from 9,999 turns to where it would no longer shows a turn. And they do it by actually changing the duration, from what I'm told, to -1. But blind wasn't stacking properly when they updated the Light Realm Champion armor. And supposedly they changed Absolute Darkness as well. I haven't actually taken time to look into it, but they were supposed to. Um, so one of the things that um, I guess they've sort of decided on was to change Dazzle. I happened to pick up Ultraviolent Light as well as fireworks spells in the past in anticipation that this would happen one day. The status was so bad, I just figured it would eventually need it. But basically, you could pick up the fireworks spell right now. It is a token. It's really not worth it. Sometimes I'll just buy things for fuck's sake. But now Dazzle is actually pretty darn good, and I think it's worth using in some instances. I'll show off the fireworks spell first. Um, Again, the fireworks spell's probably not worth the tokens, but what I'm going to show is that it will work with. So I'm going to inflict blind, so you can actually inflict blind with Dazzle now as separate uh, statuses. So here we have fireworks is 8 BTH. It scales versus light, so it's 8 versus 130% light. But as you can see in this case, the monster already thwarted it. And then I also had the 27 blind from the staff by landing a light hit. So we'll try this again. Another 8 and 45. So as you can see, so it looks like the monster didn't thwart it this time. The save will actually um, gain 2 after every turn. Fireworks again. So now at 15, and then 45 from the staff didn't take that time. So the dazzle was removed here. So the fireworks spell's pretty weak, as you can see. And so it's not really worth grabbing. I had hoped that at some point it might be a worthy spell, but now that they've changed it and fixed it, I think I may get rid of fireworks spell and get at least some tokens back. Now the spell that's worth using is actually in an Ultimon. There's like a part 2 quest in the Ultimon or something. Um, it's actually worth using is the Ultraviolent Light. This one actually doesn't scale, and it actually it's pretty good. So it's 22 blind if both land, or actually it's 22 blind if either way. But it's a -10 to save if both hits land, and I think it's a +10 save if only one hit lands. Something like that. It is light and dark, so some people may be concerned with the fact that it's opposing elements. In my opinion, you're not going to be using this spell in instances like, to me, you're not worried about damage. You're trying to get the effect. So here we basically ended up with 40 um, off of the monster's accuracy. So assuming this monster, and it doesn't because of its stat spread's not, it's an old school stat spread. But assuming that the monster had 85% accuracy, we're already down to 45% in one cast. And then, so this character actually is my Lucky Beast Mage, but it's dodge focused. So as you can see, so I use, you have the cold, Havarti Blade with bunnies, Luminous Whiff I used with Toothy Mauler, uh, and so I access the cold armor through this weapon here, and then I think I am going to eventually get. I think there's a weapon that does blinds uh, when you cast dark spells, which is what I think I'm going to use to replace fireworks. But I'm going to go ahead and cast this spell again. So we're going to be up to 44 and 31, so that's already 75 added blocking in 2 spells. But as you'll notice, that save is going to become less and less. Eventually, the monster will thwart it. I believe we need. Um, I believe we need Dazzle Potence because it was made its own status. So I don't think Blind Potence will work anymore. Try Fireworks on top. So Fireworks only change it from 44 to 46. So see, it doesn't even allow you to stack well. So that's why I think Ultraviolet Light's a better option. So we're up to 68 and 35. So we're basically at the 5% floor here. And so far it's stayed there. It'll be interesting once I get the I think the weapons in the new prismatic package. But I think that there's been some blind spells recently that are darkness. In fact, let me see. I think I have it here. But yeah, blind can now be inflicted with dazzle, and then you have the ultraviolet light spell that's actually worth using. Let's get rid of this guy. So you have a blind here. Oh, there's the darkness spell that I have here. So I think once I get that weapon, I'll use that with the Darkness Orb Shroud. Darkness Orb Shroud has a negative 20 save like Toothy Mauler, so it's pretty good. But that's just a quick update to Dazzle. I think it's worth actually maybe even crafting some ideas around Dazzle now. Um, and it works a little different than. Um, let's go ahead and show this real quick. It works a little different than um, the Light Realm Champion armor, which is a permanent blind. What's nice about Light Realm Champion is all the skills gives you a choice of MP or SP, but this is the basically takes you to Light Realm. So we basically have 7 to hit, which is not great. I don't like the permanent blinds. They don't stack very well. I thought that maybe they would change the stacking to be a little better, but they didn't. See, this is up to 16. That's weird that it went from 7 to 16. So you would have to really cast this forever and ever. So like this one is what now? Basically 19. And this guy is always 22, so I can just cast it. It'll go to 44, then 66, then 88. So that's what's nice about Dazzle. And then once they make the Dazzle potence, especially if you're able to get several items like a shield and a misc or something like that, uh, or maybe they can update some other shield to include Dazzle, um, similar to Eternal Champions, Choke and Panic, and then the Sovereign Reign is control and paralyze. So that is not a bad idea either. So um, Dazzle will become an extremely powerful dodge tool once potence is introduced. But I just wanted to show off maybe some differences here between um, how Dazzle works and the permanent blind from this, which I believe Absolute Darkness now works just like this now. Um, and wanted to show off fireworks versus ultraviolet light are the two main options. I think one of the wizard robes has Dazzle in it. I don't know if they've even touched that one. I think they plan on remaking Wizard, so maybe not. But that's it for this video. I just wanted to show off uh, the change to Dazzle and how good that I think it could potentially be.